I recently posted a video of my stomach after having eaten a really large meal, and it still looks flat. And I captioned it with, never in my life did I think I could eat such a huge meal and then not be bloated after, because I used to get bloated at the tiniest little thing all the time. And I struggled a lot with like really bad gut health. And I got so many responses being like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was giving people the Cole's notes of what I did, but I figured it might be beneficial to do like a full video actually talking about it. So here it is. So like I said, a lot of things used to really upset my stomach, and this all started back in 2015. I became really intolerant to gluten, and I literally could not eat gluten without getting extreme bloating, pain, brain fog, depression for 3 days, like really, really, really bad. So I thought I was just either intolerant or celiac. So I just cut out gluten for a long time because of that. I did the elimination diet to kind of figure this out. Never got a diagnosis, but I just knew every time I ate it, I felt horrible. So I just stopped eating it. And then my stomach was fine for a while because I stopped eating gluten. And then last year, I had this thing where I would just have literally the most random foods, like garlic, onions, like random foods would just really make my stomach blow up. Like even just coffee. So I cut out coffee for 6 months. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I thought it was gluten, but now I'm getting similar gluten-like symptoms with other foods. So that kind of led me to look a little bit more into gut health and things like that. And so one of the things that I stumbled upon was L-glutamine, which is a powder that you mix into water and it becomes clear. It's tasteless, and it's basically, from what I understand, an amino acid that helps to rebuild the gut lining, and it's just really good for gut health. So I started taking that. So that was the first thing that I did, was supplement with L-glutamine every single day, sometimes twice a day. Just really loading up on that, and that helped me a lot. I also started intermittent fasting. I mean, that was more for weight loss, but in the end, like, it did help my gut health, because like if you're constantly eating, your stomach doesn't have a chance to repair itself. Like it needs to, like, there's a lot of benefits of fasting because it helps your body repair itself. So if you have any kind of gut issue, it just helps with that. So L-glutamine, intermittent fasting, I eliminated trigger foods was the other thing. So, you know, I thought it was coffee, I quit coffee. I thought it was garlic, I quit garlic. There's so many things that would hurt my stomach, so I just stopped eating all of them, and I just kept my diet super simple, literally like egg whites, Greek yogurt, a couple veggies that I knew were safe, bland kind of foods, and it felt like it helped calm my stomach enough so that it could heal. And now I can eat all those foods again like normal. So it's not saying you have to cut everything out forever, but just for a little bit to give your body a break. And the most, I would say, impactful thing other than the L-glutamine was actually reducing my stress levels, because thinking back now, obviously retrospect, everything becomes very clear. I struggled with gut health for so long because my stress levels were so high. And like when I first thought that I was celiac or gluten intolerant, I was literally working 3 jobs. I was in school full time. I had just bought my car. I was literally, went through a horrible breakup. So I was literally in the worst physical or mental state of my life. Like I was so stressed, and I was just trying to work and hustle so I could forget about my breakup and just like numb things out. And that's when that gluten allergy started to kind of present. So, and every time in my life that I've had like bad episodes with my stomach, it has been directly related to stress. So if you're somebody who struggles with, you know, digestive problems or bloating or like bad gut health, I would really encourage you to actually take a look at your stress levels and put two and two together, because guaranteed it's probably related to your stress. Like even IBS and things like that, like a lot of people who have IBS have really bad anxiety. It's not like a coincidence. They're like your gut health and your brain is very, very related. So anyways, that was just something that I really, really noticed. And then also magically, when my stress levels dissipated, so did my stomach pain and so did my bloating. So I definitely don't think that's a coincidence. And if you look into the, you know, gut brain relationship, there's a lot there and it's very, very connected. So another huge thing was reducing stress helped me tremendously with reducing bloating. And another thing that I also started to do is take electrolytes almost daily. I have a BCA powder that has electrolytes in it, so I've just been taking that daily. But something I didn't know that I found out in my research when I was trying to fix my stomach was that your body actually needs salt to create stomach acid and bile, which are the two things that really help you digest. And for the longest time, you know, you're told salt is bad, like don't salt your food, like salt is sodium, salt is so bad for you. So I was just like, oh, like I'm not gonna salt my food, like literally for life. I've never used salt. And then when I started doing research, I'm like, okay, but salt is literally like a main mineral that your body actually needs, not only for the production of bile and stomach acid, but also for muscle contractions. And when thinking back to the time where I was having really bad stomach issues, part of my symptoms was like extreme diarrhea. So obviously that's going to dehydrate you, and what helps rehydrate you is salt. Well, I didn't think of that back then, so I was just completely like, my workouts were so shit during that time of my life because I was constantly dehydrated and my muscles literally could not contract, because salt is a really big component in muscle contraction. So if you're dehydrated, you're not going to be able to have that same strength and that same potential in your muscles. So anyways, like now it makes so much sense because I know very specific things that have to do with that. But at the time I was just like, I don't know why I'm so weak. Like, yeah, I've been having diarrhea, but I don't know. So I thought at the time I was just weak because I was like psychosomatically psyching myself out or something because my stomach was sick, but it was physically I was weakened because I was dehydrated. So anyways, now I take electrolytes every single day or almost every day. It's made a huge difference because I always drank a shit ton of water, but my skin would always still be dry and I would still feel dehydrated even if I drank a lot of water. And I realized because I was just diluting my salts and I was not really replenishing them ever, especially when you're working out. Every time you sweat, you're losing salt, right? So if you're not replenishing it through food and whatever, you're just losing more and more and more of it. So now that I take that every day, I notice a huge benefit and improvement in my digestion. I don't feel bloated ever, like literally ever. And I can eat a shit ton and my stomach will still be flat. Whereas before, like I said, a small snack like would blow up my stomach. So I think the issue was leaky gut, which is when parts of your stomach lining deteriorate, and that can be due to many factors, but stress is a big one. And so then any kind of food in the digestive system is going to kind of trigger your body's reaction that like something bad is happening, and then it's going to bloat. So, and cause pain and other digestive problems, either diarrhea, constipation, you know, excessive gas, all things that I used to deal with. So if you are somebody who's struggling with any of these things, I would highly recommend that you do your own research, because every body is different. And just because this worked for me, it may not work for you. But it might help. So even if you just start looking down that rabbit hole and kind of see, you know, take what fits and leave what doesn't, I would really recommend, like I said, supplementing with L-glutamine daily, intermittent fasting, cutting out trigger foods, just for the short term, taking electrolytes, and reducing stress. And if you are somebody also that I didn't mention, alcohol was a really big trigger. Like even one sip of a drink would make my stomach blow up. So if you're one who likes to have alcohol, I would definitely cut that out until your stomach is better, because that is a huge detriment to gut health. I mean, it is a toxin, so taking that into account, you definitely want to try and eliminate that until you're all better. But yeah, so those are my tips, and that's what I did to be able to enjoy all the foods that I love without needing to worry about bloating or stomach pain. So if you're somebody who's kind of struggling with that, like I really recommend you try out the things that I tried, or even just look deeper into it and see what else you might find that you think resonates with your own personal body. And if you have more specific question, please message me or comment, and I would love to help you further. But I hope this video helped you a lot. Bye.